Good evening to the ladies and to the gentlemen. This is Quick Hits with Pat and Tony. Brought to you by Mybookie.ag. Promo code PAT. 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. Promo code PAT. Bankrupt MyBookie. It's Wednesday. It'd be a real shame. Me or you? It'd be a real shame if the Heat never came back on in here.
Diggs is showcasing his beta lifestyle to the full here. It's about 61 degrees in this office. He has a parka, he has a jacket, 3 layers on, and I just think it's a nice little wake-up call in this place.
I've always ran cold my entire life. It's just one of my, I don't have good circulation.
We haven't had heat for the last week, and it's really starting to get cold here in the Midwest. Excited for it to potentially happen. I called an expert last night.
Oh, you did?
He said it's a big space, going to be tough to heat, which I find interesting. This sounds like it's going to be expensive. We're a small business. We'll see if we're paying for that heat anyways on the next episode of Quick Hits with Pat and Diggs. Would be a real shame. Be a real shame if this whole office had to wear parkas and 5 layers every day. Be a real shame.
No, the coal miners do it. I'll do it.
Attaboy, Diggs. Would be a real shame. Wednesday is the greatest day for the show. Let me tell you why. We tell you the things that would be a real shame in the NFL. Here's my first one.
Go ahead.
Would be a real shame if a punter was the fastest player on an NFL field for 2 weeks in a row this upcoming weekend, just like what Johnny Townsend did last week, where he reached the top speed of 20.48 miles an hour on a fake punt for the Oakland Raiders, which is speeding in some school zones.
Yep.
Speeding.
Especially when the light's flashing.
Speeding. Be a real shame if a punter is the fastest athlete in the NFL for the second straight weekend this upcoming weekend.
Johnny looked good.
He did.
Were you jealous? So you were like, that was fucking wide open. Why could that have never happened?
It happened to me. I did it one time.
Wide ass open?
I just never got the analytics on how fast I was running.
You were on the right side. I remember now.
Yeah, I never got the analytics on how fast I was running. Maybe I don't want to know, by the way.
There was no one there.
Nobody. It would look like that Brad Wing LSU touchdown where he went like this or whatever.
That was a good one.
Yeah, dope.
It'd be a real shame if a bunch of heads were hanging outside of the New York NFL offices because the cartel's losing a fuck ton of money because they just moved the game from Mexico to L.A.
And El Chapo's trial is happening in New York right now.
They're just going to hang heads everywhere in New York.
That game that was supposed to happen in Mexico, I was so excited for the punters and kickers there.
Bombs.
8,000 feet above sea level. You might as well be punting in space. That thing will never come back. That ball would have gone forever.
Was it?
Now they're in L.A.
Yeah, was it last year or like 2 years?
Gostkowski.
Gostkowski was like
From 62. Probably would have been good from literally 82 yards. It's like punting on the moon.
I'm just saying, the cartel cannot be happy. They were gonna kidnap a lot of people down there. They were gonna sell drugs to a lot of people down there. Big business opportunity wasted because Shakira burnt the field down with those hips.
Would be a real shame. Oh, I get the Shakira reference now.
No, it was her concert or whatever there.
Really?
Yeah.
I just learned something. Would be a real shame if the TB12 brand took a hit after what happened last week with him tripping himself and falling on his face. Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. But in the battle of Tom versus Time, has Time finally won? Has Turf made this a triple threat match and took them both out, Tom and Time? Time will tell.
There was a Pro Football Talk article, headline, NFL passing is up, Tom Brady is down.
Oh, is it all coming to a head in New England?
Nope, I won't say it.
You're saying it.
No, because once you say it, they win 6 in a row, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I think they're so good.
They're really good.
Josh Gordon learned how to really the offense. Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman, and if Gronk can get back on the field, they're going to be tough to stop again.
Be a real shame if it ever came out what Marvin Lewis has on the Bengals and why he still has a job, and he is able to hire Hugh Jackson for a defensive position, assistant to the regional coach, manager. Fucking Hugh Jackson and Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis is trolling the Cincinnati Bengals fans.
Yes.
They live in Ohio, okay? Not that far from Cleveland, only a few hours. They've seen and heard everything that Hugh Jackson has done there. And they've also seen and heard everything Marvin Lewis has done in the Bengals. And Marvin's like, you know what, Bengals fans? I think they're all wrong about Hugh Jackson. I'm going to bring him in here for defense.
Yep.
Even though he's an offensive expert,
Yep.
I'm going to bring him in here for defense and really turn this thing around. The Bengals are – I feel bad for the Queen City, Cincinnati.
Yes, Cincinnati. He did have a good record there as OC. I don't know what his record is as on defensive side of the ball, but
would be a real shame if the Chicago Bears are just like an elite football team again. Would be a real shame if that happened. Would be a real shame if they had a quarterback that was good, a defense that looked impenetrable. Would be a real shame if Eli Manning also came back from the dead. 2 games away from being a perfectly win, perfectly lost, a 500 record. Would be a real shame if Eli Manning chugged on the fountain of youth and figured out how to be an NFL quarterback again after costing me thousands and thousands of dollars against the 49ers.
I would hate to see Eli come back.
Diggs has had it. Would be a real shame.
First toss was the worst toss I've ever had on this show. I had to pick it up and do it again.
No, this one probably worse. You followed. Would be a real shame if you didn't see the second one. How bad the second one was.
It'd be a real shame if Pat and Foxy were in LA during Chiefs-Rams weekend and didn't find a way to go to that game.
You're putting a lot of heat on me with my lady friend, and I don't appreciate it. Would be a real shame if this show was over now.
I mean, it'd be a real shame if Hecker and Colquitt didn't get you onto the field. Little for the brand help.
Listen, I can respect that now. If I'm going to be there, I'm not
You
going to
might
be
as
sitting
well
in the crowd.
Get some content, right, Foxy?
I'm going to be sitting in the crowd.
Right, Foxy?
Fox got a fresh haircut. Can't find him. Can't touch him. Might have sex this weekend. Who knows? Very doubtful this weekend.
I'll be back tomorrow with picks. That'll for sure to lose.
Who are you going to be with? Coach Gruden?
The Packers are playing. I'll probably have Coach Gruden.
He's a good guest.
We'll talk shit on Russell Wilson probably. See ya.